Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of DB vs Super. If you want to know the first part, which is about the story, the link will be in the description. In part 1, we talked about the storytelling and how each series handled its story and its vast types of narrative. But today, we will be talking about the animation, how each series looked and was well animated, even taking it to the board, storyboarders and directors. And just to mention, a lot of the people who worked on Z worked on Super. So, let's begin. Now, both series have very different productions. The OG run of the anime, DBNZ, was a multi-studio, which is basically when multiple studios come on a single show. While Super has an in-house Toei with a bit of outsourcing here and there and freelancers. So how about we start with Super? On Super's side, you have Toei's in-house staff, as I mentioned, having the following supervisors: Naoki Tate, Yuichi Karasawa, Yuya Takahashi, Shuichiro Manabe, Yoshitaka Yashima, Yukihiro Kitano, Osamu Ishikawa, Hideyuki Itai, Koichi Nishizawa, Masahiro Shimanuki, Hirotaka Nii, even Tadayoshi Yamamura, and chief animation supervisors like Miyako Tsuji and Takayo Ide. And as for the key animators, you have the likes of Atsushi Nikaido, Kenji Miyuma, Futoshi Higashide, Chu Young-soo, Ken Otsuka, even people who work on Studio Bones like Kenta Yukoya. And as for the directors, you have directors like Ryota Nakamura, Megumi Ishitani, Masato Mitsuka, and even storyboarders like Tadayoshi Yamamura, Yoshitaka Yashima, Takehiro Imamura, Masanori Sato, etc., etc. Job on Dragon Ball Super. As for the OG run of the franchise, DB and Z, I'll cover the major studios mostly, and I'll mention each main supervisor for each studio, and some of their key animators. For some studios, they have a lot of key animators, so I'll mention as least as possible. And I'll mention from which point they started to which point they stayed. So let's start with Studio Juno. The main animation supervisor is Minoru Maeda, and his team, which is Masaki Sato, Hisashi Iguchi, Katsuyoshi Nakatsura, and Takayo Ide. If you notice, some of them are from Toei Animation. The studio was from DB Episode 1 to DBZ Episode 164. After that, Minoru Maeda and his team left the series. Mainly Masaki Sato and Iguchi, Nakatsura, and Ide stayed till the end of Dragon Ball Z and GT. The next studio is Seigasha. The main animation supervisors were Tomokuchi Takeuchi from DBZ Episode 2 to DBZ Episode 63. Their next supervisor, Masahiro Shimanuki, stayed from episode DBZ 68 to DBZ 225. And then Kazuo Hisada, who started from DBZ 98 to Dragon Ball GT 63. The main key animators were Naoki Tate and Yokio Izuka. The next studio is Last House, from DB Episode 3 to DBGT Episode 62. And the only supervisor was Masayuki Uchiyama. And some of his team was Naoto Shishida and Taichiro Ohara. The next studio is Studio Live, from DB Episode 4 to DBZ 290. The main animation supervisor is Yokio Ibisawa, and one of his KAs is Toshiyuki Kano. The next studio is Shindo Productions. Shindo Productions had Mitsuo Shindo from DB Episode 4 to DBZ Episode 116. After that, Tadayoshi Yamamura supervised from DBZ Episode 122 to DBGT Episode 59, and Yamamura was one of Shindo's main key animators. The next studio is Studio Cockpit, from Episode 174 of DBZ to DBZ 279. The main animation supervisor was Keisuke Masanage, and one of his important key animators was Masaki Iwani. Okay, now on to the comparison, which will be a bit subjective here, but if you disagree with my opinions, comment down below. I've got 5 good major fights from each series, and I have 3 main factors to decide which fight of each comparison is better: storyboarding and direction, the fluidity of the movement, and the art. So let's begin. The first comparison is going to be Goku vs. Majin Vegeta against Goku vs. Toppo. As for the direction and storyboarding, it goes to Dragon Ball Z. As for the fluidity, it goes to Z. And as for the art, it goes to Z. Okay, this may look unfair, but the Toppo fight art wasn't that great in my opinion, and its direction was and the storyboard wasn't that interesting. In my opinion, that is. As for the next comparison, it's going to be Goku and Trunks versus Goku Black and Zamasu, episode 57, against Gotenks versus Super Buu, the Shingo Ishikawa episode. The fluidity goes to Super, the art goes to Z, the direction goes to Super, and the storyboard goes to Super. In my opinion, Super's fight was mainly better because of Naoto Shishida, and his animation was great, and the direction was beautiful in episode 57. But I'd say the art would go to Z here, as I like Shingo Ishikawa's style so much. For the next comparison, it's going to be Majin Vegeta versus Majin Buu against Goku versus Jiren episode 130. As for the direction and storyboarding, it's going to go to Super. The art is Super, storyboard is going to go to Super. Basically, storyboard and direction is for Super, and the art is for Super. The fluidity is for Super. And really, if you watched episode 130, you'd agree why it's better, really, because Majin Vegeta versus Majin Buu may have been a good fight, but episode 130 is just mind-blowing. Next comparison is going to be Goku vs. Cell against Goku and the Gang against Universe 3, episode 120 of Dragon Ball Super. The direction and storyboarding will go to Z, the art will go to Z, and the fluidity of the movement will go to Z. Goku vs. Cell was a very great fight, especially in the Keisuke Masanage section with Masaki Iwani. It was very fluid. While the Goku vs. Universe 3 in episode 120 was okay, but it's not comparable to Goku vs. Cell. The last comparison is Goku vs. Ten Shinhan, 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, against the 1 hour special. The storyboard goes to Super, the direction goes to Super, the fluidity is for Super, and the art for Super. I feel like the 1 hour special had the better movement fluidity, especially with names like Yuya Takahashi and modern day Naoto Shishida. While Goku vs. Ten Shinhan, the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai one, is a great fight and it's one of my favorites, the 1 hour special animation-wise is much better in my opinion, especially with the direction and storyboarding by the two main guys, Kazuya Kurosawa and Masako Mitsuka. And that's all, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe and press the notification button. And as always, stay bad! Before you leave the video, I would like to thank Anime AJ, DB Animators, and Kanzenshu and Sakugaboru for helping me. I would like to thank Anime AJ for letting me screenshot some news videos. And I'd like to thank DB Animators and Dat2Work on Twitter. They helped me to recognize some styles. And I'd like to thank and shout out Sakugaboru and Kanzenshu. And yeah, bye.